The sound of laughter turned to silence. That is how I found out my own family was the villain. They did not know the truth about the wedding venue. I was just a waitress to them, a simple woman serving drinks. But I discovered a secret that changed everything. My sister pointed at me and laughed loudly. She told the groom I was just a poor worker. She lied about my past to everyone. The guests believed her cruel story. However, they were all staying in a hotel that belonged to me. How could I let them humiliate my mother in this place? The injustice burned inside me like a fire. I had to stay quiet and watch their cruelty. But my silence would not last forever. My name is Kalen, and this is the story of my family's betrayal. I work as a waitress in a big, beautiful hotel. It is a 5-star place with gold lights and soft carpets. Today, my sister Elena is getting married here. She is the bride in a white dress. I should be happy for her, but I feel a deep pain. My mother is here too, sitting quietly at a small table. She looks tired and sad. Elena walked to our mother during the reception. She took the microphone for a toast. "This is my mother," Elena said with a sweet smile. She was a cleaning lady her whole life. She has nothing. The guests laughed. My mother's face fell. She looked down at her hands. I felt my heart break. Elena was lying. Our mother worked hard to save money. She helped me buy this very hotel years ago. But Elena pretended we were poor. She wanted to look better for her rich groom's family. The groom's mother whispered to someone, "What a low-class family." I stood behind a table, holding a tray of drinks. My hands shook with anger. I wanted to shout the truth. But I held my tongue. I had to protect my mother from more shame. The ceremony continued with the vows. The groom promised to love Elena forever. But his words felt empty. I saw the way his family looked at my mother with disgust. The injustice was suffocating. After the vows, the reception began. Music played, but I could only hear my mother's quiet sobs. I went to her and held her hand. "It will be okay," I whispered, though I did not know how. Suddenly, the groom's brother walked over to our table. He looked at me with cruel eyes. "Are you the sister?" he asked. "The one who serves food?" I nodded slowly. He laughed and walked away. The humiliation was not over. It was just beginning. The night got worse. After dinner, the dancing started. Elena and her groom danced in the center of the room. Everyone clapped. Then, the groom's mother stood up. She called for everyone's attention. "We have a small game," she announced. "Let's see who the real workers are here." She pointed at me. "You, the waitress. Come here." My stomach turned. I walked to the dance floor, still in my apron. The guests stared. "Tell us," the woman said, "what is it like to serve people your whole life?" Her voice was full of contempt. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. Elena laughed from beside her new husband. "She is just a simple girl," Elena said. "She does not know any better." The crowd chuckled. My cheeks burned with shame. I looked at my mother. Tears were running down her face. This was a cruel test of my patience. The groom's brother shouted, "Give her a tip." He threw some coins on the floor at my feet. "Pick them up," he said. "That is your job." The room erupted in laughter. I bent down slowly. My fingers touched the cold coins. I felt like I was disappearing. But then I remembered. This hotel was mine. These people were my guests. The injustice was too great. I stood up, holding the coins. I looked straight into the groom's brother's eyes. "You think you are powerful," I said quietly. "But you are just a guest in my house." He looked confused. Elena hissed, "Be quiet, Kaylin. You are embarrassing us." But I did not stop. I turned to the whole room. "You all laughed at my mother," I said. "You called her low class. But she is the reason this place exists." The music stopped. Everyone was silent. I could feel the truth rising in my chest like a tide. It was time to reveal who I really was. The silence in the room was heavy. Every eye was on me. Elena's face was pale with anger. "What are you saying?" she demanded. "You are a fool." I took a deep breath. My hands stopped shaking. I reached into my apron pocket and pulled out a small, golden key. It was the master key to the hotel. "This is my hotel," I said, my voice clear and strong. "I am the owner." The groom's mother gasped. "That is impossible," she cried. "You are a waitress." I smiled sadly. "I chose to work here as a waitress. I wanted to understand my employees. I wanted to be close to my mother, who helps manage the finances." "You never asked. You only saw the apron." I walked to the main table where the hotel manager was standing. He nodded at me respectfully. "Madam Kaylin," he said. "Your instructions?" The crowd murmured in shock. Elena took a step back. You own this place?" she whispered. "But how?" I explained. "Years ago, my mother and I saved every penny. We invested in this property when it was just an old building. I worked 2 jobs. My mother cleaned offices at night. We rebuilt it together. Then I became the silent owner. I hired a manager so I could work as a waitress and learn the business from the bottom. I never told Elena because I was afraid she would change. I was right to be afraid. The groom looked at Elena with cold eyes. You lied to me, he said. You said your family was poor. Elena started to cry. I wanted to impress you, she sobbed. But the damage was done. The groom's family felt cheated. The wedding was falling apart. I looked at the groom's brother, the one who threw coins at me. His face was red with shame. I am sorry, he stammered. Please, forgive me. The injustice that poisoned the night was finally being cured by the truth. But the cost was high. My sister's marriage was ending before it truly began. The wedding did not happen that night. The groom and his family left quietly. Elena was heartbroken. She cried and shouted at me, saying I ruined her life. But I did not ruin it. Her own lies did. My mother came to me and hugged me tightly. Thank you for protecting our dignity, she said softly. In the following days, I made some changes. I forgave Elena, but I told her she needed to learn the truth about humility and hard work. I offered her a job at the hotel, starting from the bottom, just like me. She refused at first, but later she accepted. She learned to treat every worker with respect. The lesson I learned is this: never judge a person by their clothes or their job. The most powerful person in the room might be the one you think is the weakest. True dignity comes from hard work and honesty, not from wealth or status. My story is a reminder that kindness and justice will always find a way to shine, even in the darkest moments of humiliation.